An investigation into hostile work environments being conducted by the government because of the actions that the league itself and some of the players have had towards Caitlin Clark.
There is a senator, and I forget his name, who sent a letter to the WNBA requesting an answer as to why Caitlin Clark seems to be receiving unfair treatment from the referees.
The WNBA and Caitlin Clark's civil rights. If the league won't act to protect its superstar from a hostile environment, the government should do so.
Trump could get involved over the treatment of Caitlin Clark on the court.
This can go somewhere that the WNBA cannot afford for it to go.
Caitlin Clark's civil rights have been systematically violated by the WNBA, and now a federal investigation could literally end the league as we know it. A former White House staffer has just dropped the most explosive bombshell in the entire sports world, calling for a congressional probe into how the WNBA has allowed its biggest star to be targeted, attacked, and discriminated against, while officials deliberately turn a blind eye to the chaos unfolding right in front of them.
The Wall Street Journal wrote an article earlier this week kind of explaining Caitlin Clark's civil rights being broken. Now, I'm seeing this, right, as if the Wall Street Journal might have been tipped off, because now Indiana Senator Jim Brown and none other than ESPN sports anchor himself, Stephen A. Smith, has spoken about the WNBA should be under investigation.
Why this is taking on a civil rights angle, a hostile work environment angle, people forget about Candace Wiggins. She got bullied out of the league because she was straight. You have a racial component and you have a sexual preference component to all of this. And I think by and large, a lot of these women don't like the fact that she's white and straight. You think that's not a bit of a civil rights issue? Of course it is.
We're not talking about some random basketball drama anymore. We're talking about potential federal violations, conspiracy theories involving gambling and game fixing, and government officials who are fed up with watching America's most popular female athlete get roughed up on national television while corrupt referees pretend nothing is happening. U.S. Congressman Jim Banks has already demanded answers from the WNBA over the targeting of Caitlin Clark. And now, the pressure is mounting for a full-scale federal investigation, one that could expose gambling conspiracies, referee corruption, and systematic discrimination, reaching all the way to the top of this failing organization.
So this came out last night. Representative, now Senator Jim Banks from Indiana, wrote a letter to the WNBA asking for answers about what the league is doing to protect Caitlin Clark after the Kennedy Carter cheap shot over a year later, and many more cheap shots with no action. Congress must act, protect CC.
If you think the WNBA is about to face the biggest scandal in professional sports history, and you want to see Caitlin Clark finally get the protection she deserves, smash that like button and drop, expose the WNBA in the comments. Because this story is about to completely destroy everything the WNBA has tried to build over the past 27 years. The fact that we've reached a point where government officials are calling for civil rights investigations into a professional sports league tells you everything you need to know about how badly the WNBA has failed to protect its most valuable asset. This isn't just about missed foul calls or inconsistent officiating anymore. This is about a pattern of systematic targeting and discrimination that has been allowed to continue for an entire season. While league officials sit in their offices counting the money Caitlin Clark...
Are referees gambling? I want answers to that. Are the players gambling? I want answers to that. In a professional league where the players get paid less than all the other professional leagues, a professional league where the referees get paid less than all the other professional leagues, this is where the money is, folks. Nobody's been paying attention to the WNBA for the last 20 plus years. If they want to gamble underneath the table, this is the league to do it at. If they want to fix games underneath the table, hit some prop bets underneath the table, this is the league where they're going to do it at. WNBA needs to investigate that first and foremost.
There's millions of dollars at stake here and changing hands. You've got gambling and the one thing we're not talking about, the millions upon millions of dollars that's been spent on Caitlin Clark by people that have traveled to try to see her play. By the WNBA, they have advertised her being in these games, this, that, and the other. They've moved arenas and all this. And then Caitlin Clark can't play. She's not able to get on the court because she's had the crap kicked out of her. That's a problem. It's a business problem.
She's box office. And you do have a lot of people that have come across, not everybody, but have come across as resenting it for that, because you have a lot of ladies in the WNBA who rightfully believe they did so much to help build this league that they resent the fact that people want to act like they don't matter nearly as much as she does. What they're forgetting, however, is that the audience determines that. Where the audience interest lies, who they're interested in watching, who they're interested in seeing matter.
The former White House staffer calling for federal intervention isn't some random conspiracy theorist looking for attention. This is someone who understands how government investigations work and who believes there's enough evidence of civil rights violations to warrant congressional oversight of a professional sports league. Think about how insane that is for a moment. Professional sports leagues in America operate with tremendous autonomy and almost never face government intervention unless there are serious allegations of criminal behavior or systematic violations of federal law. The fact that we're even discussing a potential civil rights probe into the WNBA's treatment of Caitlin Clark shows
a senator has already looked into it. You have members of the administration who have thought about it, from what I'm being told, and based on Trump's history with the NFL and him being an obvious sports fan, goes to events and stuff like that, he pays attention to this kind of stuff, and this is the kind of stuff that can feed that base. So I'm saying to the WNBA, I'm just warning them, watch it, because if he gets involved and that base gets involved, it could be a problem.
I mean, we never seen anything like this. We in all the sports, we have never seen anything like this. Now, if this is true, that it is a secret attack, a secret agenda to attack Caitlin Clark, to pretty much not call her fouls, if the UConn Blue thing is happening for real, this is bad. I mean, this is really, really bad for the league. This is bad for the game of basketball. And this is bad for us being American citizens, because we supposed to be the land of the free and the home of the brave. This ain't freedom, what Caitlin Clark is enduring right now. Now, we all proud to be Americans, right? But this ain't the American thing to do.
When government officials start talking about civil rights violations in professional sports, you know the league has completely lost control of the narrative and failed in its most basic responsibility, protecting its players from systematic targeting and discrimination. The pattern of targeting Caitlin Clark has faced throughout her WNBA career goes far beyond normal competitive basketball and enters territory that could legitimately be considered systematic harassment based on her race, popularity, and economic impact on the league. We've documented countless incidents in which Clark has been eye-poked, body-checked, flagrantly fouled, and physically targeted, while referees either ignore the contact entirely or issue her technical fouls for having the audacity.
Kennedy Carter, the one that started it all. Kennedy Carter slam into the side of Caitlin Clark while you have the ball over here being weighted to be inbounds. She called her a and slammed into the side of her. How about Diamond DeShields? Watch this. Boom! That's not a basketball play. That's not a basketball play. Marina Mabry, earlier this year. Right there. There is no basketball being played.
Yeah, it looked like Caitlin got hit.
There is no basketball being played there. I'm sorry. That's bleeping assault. That's what that is. All right? By the way, Tina Charles puts a fist right there, right into Caitlin's back. That got lost in all this.
This isn't random incompetence from officials. It's a coordinated effort that allows opposing players to intimidate and potentially injure the league's biggest star, while ensuring she's penalized if she dares to defend herself or show frustration over the obvious targeting. The civil rights angle becomes even more compelling when you consider that Caitlin Clark's treatment by the WNBA appears to be directly tied to her race, her popularity with certain fan demographics, and the economic success she's brought to a league that was struggling financially before her arrival. The systematic nature of this targeting suggests motivations that go beyond simple competitive basketball, and that's exactly the kind of discrimination federal civil rights laws are meant to address.